This is The Happiness Blueprint, the podcast where we uncover how people build happier lives.
Welcome. I'm here with Emma and Stef from Endicott College. Thanks for being brave and joining us here at NACA. I'd like to first start by understanding y'all's roles on campus here. So I believe we're in all campus activities here. What's kind of y'all roles in campus? What's y'all role in the project there?
So we both started freshman year as like regular Gen Board members and then joined e-board. We're seniors now, so I became the president. I'm the marketing chair.
Awesome. So what does being the president, what does the marketing chair kind of entail here? What does the day-to-day look like for that?
Kind of having like one-on-ones with our advisors, like planning the agendas for meetings, making sure everyone's on task, like our coordinators making sure their checklists are done, helping out wherever is needed.
That's it. And yes, what does the marketing look like for y'all?
So I have usually a team of marketing coordinators and they work underneath me, so I kind of delegate tasks of posting on social media or making posters throughout the events that are needed.
Awesome. It feels like the main challenge or one of the big challenges is always how do we get students to our events. So that sounds like, your marketing, that sounds like your big goal here, big mission here. How are you accomplishing that? Is it mostly through posters, is it mostly through social media posts, word of mouth? How are you getting students to your events?
Mostly social media through Instagram stories and word of mouth on campus. Usually we'll go to class and say oh, this event's happening. And we also have posters around the buildings at school.
That makes sense. I've had other students mention that part of the challenge is being one to put yourself out there, where I think as a marketing, you mentioned going to classrooms. I assume as a president as well, you've done some of this of having to go to students say, hey, here's what we're doing. There's some vulnerability there and it takes some courage to go in. Has that been a challenge for you guys? Is that something you guys have enjoyed doing, or is that a tough role to get into at times?
I'd say it's pretty fun. This year especially, we're bringing new events that we haven't had in the past, and it's had good turnouts, so it's doing good so far.
What were some of these new events?
Last week we did acai vision board. We did
I love it.
You make your own acai bowl, and then we had a bunch of magazines and stuff. Make your own wish board. It's a cool event.
I love it. Is that one of the new ones? Have there been other new events going on here?
We're rebranding our Fall Fest.
Okay.
Usually, it's just we paint pumpkins, but we're kind of making a more extreme, bigger scale event. Having a band, and that's going to be outside, and just having way more stuff. So that should be a good turnout too.
It's beautiful, and it's beautiful to find new ways to incorporate students here. I think one of the challenges here is you can't just do the same event every year. It's good to have big staples here, but we do need to be flexible, make sure we're accommodating to everyone here. What are some of the goals of the events here? So I think generally we're hoping to get students involved on campus, hoping to relieve a little bit of stress here. What are some of the goals you guys go into events with?
Usually our goals are have students have a community on campus and make sure they're all involved, all parties across campus. So the athletes, all majors basically, which we sometimes struggle with, but I feel over the years we've gotten better, having events that everyone has a spot that they can feel they can also be involved with.
Yes, I think that community word is one big one that I've come back to many times here of it's so easy to make an event for a certain club, for a certain demographic, for freshmen, for certain people on campus, and that's great, but ideally we can be more inclusive. We can try and reach everyone on campus. Has that been hard to try and design events that are inclusive for everyone, or do you feel you've been successful in doing that so far?
I think we've done a pretty good job. We have all sorts of events. We've had people who come every single year to our bigger events, Drag Bingo is a huge hit at our school. Fulham, our prizes are huge, so they always get excited when they see those posters. Freshmen, they're awesome. They come to everything. They're very oh, what's that? Tell me more. And I feel a lot of people just make friends better, coming to our events, just big groups, and yeah.
That is the key here, right? Where college, of course, is about learning. We want to make sure the academics are strong. We want everything to be strong there. But if all we do is come and get ready for exams, get ready for midterms, get ready for finals, it's going to be a pretty dreary time for us. So it's really important to have these pockets of happiness that we can make for people. Do you feel that's worked so far? Do you feel the events are well received among students? How do you kind of feel in the wake of some of the events that you've seen put on, the acai, I'm drawing a blank on what the acai was paired with here, the acai vision board pairing here. Yes. Do you feel they've been successful? How do you kind of know they were successful in the wake of it?
I feel most of our events are successful. I feel the way we say if they're successful is how many people come to our events and the feedback we hear in the classrooms around campus. That's usually how we tell. And if they're not, then we go back and see what we can change with the event to make them more successful.
I think that flexibility there, you mentioned how we change, make it more flexible, such an important part of this. We would love to just prescribe events and have them all go great the first time. Things don't go great the first time. Of course, in the 6 months leading up to the event, there's often here's what we thought the event was going to be. Here's what we thought the artist for the concert was going to be. all of a sudden they told us they were $300,000 to come to our school, and now this artist can't quite work out anymore. What are some of the common challenges you guys have faced in planning events and trying to make these people happy?
I think in terms of like concerts, definitely hard to get an artist that everybody likes, and I feel like it's a common denominator between a bunch of schools that student communities want artists that are bigger and not in budget. So it's definitely hard to like let them know that this is our budget, this is what we can do. If you want it, let us know. If not, we can definitely change the ideas, shift gears.
It's tough. Yeah, we would love Taylor Swift on campus. I think we would all love Taylor Swift on campus, but unfortunately, she's asking for a little bit more than we can afford here. It's been one of the main ones with concerts, I guess. Yeah, with artists here, I know with GPM 6 we often talk about like the DJ model here and why it's so great to bring in a DJ, because he can play the Taylor Swift songs and he can also play every other song that everyone's loved from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, all the way to whatever came out yesterday that is a new thing on TikTok that I haven't heard yet that everyone else is in love with here. Are there other challenges that have come with other events outside of concerts here, or is the budget kind of the big factor that really seems to stress people out?
For us, I think it's budget. Definitely just like dividing the money equally, like making sure we're not buying like say glue sticks that we already have, or like just a bunch of materials that we already have. Really just using our resources that are already in our building versus like buying everything that we need and just cutting down. For example, our ISAU event, the ISAU like sold, like was gone quickly. So definitely something to look into. Like I know we were expecting a lot of people, but not that many people. So kind of just like pros and cons of looking into events like that.
How have you navigated budgeting then? Where I think that is a very common challenge for us here. Like, is there a lot of spreadsheets going on? Is there a lot of conversations here? Like, what are some strategies you would recommend other people who are having a similar challenge? What's worked for you in trying to make sure the money goes as far as it can? And of course, that is always the goal here, right? Is to get every penny of value out of it. What are some of the conversations that you guys have had? What has been successful for y'all in navigating budgets and making sure that the school is happy to support putting the money in, you're getting the funding for next year? And how are you kind of navigating some of these challenges?
I would say for us at least, if we have an idea for an event, we look in the resource room and see if we have the stuff already. And if we do, then we know like, oh, it will be less money. And if we need more stuff, we'll like look and see like what's the best we can get for the price. And if like we can't afford it, then we look into something else that's like the same but is cheaper.
This episode of the Happiness Blueprint podcast is brought to you by Vibarks. Goals, budgets, and KPIs can tell you what happened, but they don't tell you how people felt while doing the work. Happiness is the most important metric of all, and it needs a system. Vibarks is that system for prioritizing your mental health and tracking emotional metrics for individuals, teams, and even projects. Users submit a weekly 2-minute check-in online or in the app for metrics like happiness, stress, and utilization. Then, Vibarks processes that data into quantified metrics that help spot patterns, celebrate wins, and encourage support where needed. Personally, I loved using Vibarks with my team at GBM 6. It felt like such a great way to check in with myself and make sure I'm hitting both my professional and my personal goals. I especially love that it asks me for 3 things that I'm happy about every week. During busy season, I find that things can feel a little chaotic and stressful, so this has felt like a really great tool to reframe my focus and make sure I'm aware of how many great things are happening around me, even in the most stressful moments. Vibarks is free forever for individuals, .edu teams, and .org teams. All other organizations can start with a 60-day free trial and then pay just $5 per user per month to build a healthier, happier, and more engaged workplace. Check out the link in our description to get started on your own journey towards a happier personal and professional life. Thank you to Vibarks for sponsoring today's episode. All right, back to the show. That is unfortunately the reality of it. Yes, we would love to have the gold-plated event, but that isn't always the reality of it. And I don't think we always need the gold-plated events to make people as happy as possible, right? I think we can survive at something. Yeah, Acai and Vision Board, to me, it's like, Acai is expensive, but in the context of getting a Taylor Swift on campus, like, it's much more affordable, right? And a Vision Board is, I assume, essentially free. I assume there's some materials that go into making the physical thing, but it's not, $1 million thing. It's kind of a simple way we can try and make people happy here. What motivates y'all to keep putting on events here? Where it does sound like it is stressful here, and there are some challenges that go into it. What makes it worth it for y'all when it all is all said and done here? What makes you excited to put the next event on?
I feel like talk of the word, like around campus, like it's honestly such a rewarding moment to just hear like the students talk and be like, wow, that was so fun. And I also feel like our freshman year, we went to these events and it honestly was so fun to put together and be behind the scenes of the events rather than just going to them. So I think we like being behind the scenes now, and it's just awesome to see like the reciprocation that they give us with every event.
Yeah. Has that been your experience as well? A kind of similar gratification from it all? I think that's beautiful. I think the other thing we found with our GBM6 team is that like we create these events to make other people happy. And it turns out we make ourselves happy in the process of it. Like we just enjoy putting on the thing. It's fun to build these things, and they are long days. And for us, it's long days on site. I know for y'all, it's long months of making this all happen and getting all the planning. And so it's kind of a fun, I don't know, balance to me of we're doing all this to make other people happy. It turns out we kind of build our own oasis in the process here. As we wrap up here, my last question for both of y'all is what's something outside of this that makes you happy? So there is so much, in events to be happy about. I'm always curious about like events is one part of our life here. There's so much more of life that we can enjoy here. Is there a hobby? Is there a favorite activity? Are you a horseback rider? Do you love sewing? Is there, a favorite beach you love to go to? What's one thing that makes you happy?
Personally, I feel like I have two things. I love traveling. And honestly, it just brings me so much joy seeing different parts of the world. But I also feel like being so close to my family is something that makes me so happy because obviously college is a hard time for everyone and they experience it different ways. But having a family that's so close brings you together and just allows you to like always have a place where you belong. And yeah.
I think it's important, of course, ideally with events, we're giving people that family vibe on campus and trying to make this academic institution into a living community where you can all exist. Where's the favorite place you travel to? What did you reflect on that? What's one that stands out?
Probably like Cancun, Mexico.
Cancun, Mexico. Yeah, I can imagine that making you pretty happy. That sounds like a great time. Beautiful. As we come into winter here, I'll be looking forward to Cancun as well in the coming months. What's something that makes you happy?
I would also say my family and how close we are. I feel like it's just like always a place I can go, like my family I can go to and like have an output and feel like safe. For like college, not that you don't feel safe, but like you're always around people and like you feel like you always have to be like on socially, whereas family like you don't have to.
Yes. Is there like a fun family tradition that you like to do? Is there a board game night that you guys have to do? Is there a meal that you guys love to make together? What's one of the ways you guys relax together?
My family, we have a house in Vermont, so I love going up there with my family and just like a fun air place and like you all sit down on the table and just like talk for like hours.
I think that community vibe again comes back. It's like if the events go well, we can start trying to bring that to campus ourselves and hopefully get some of the family vibe here as well. Beautiful. Y'all both have such strong family ties. I think as I get older, I realize how uncommon that is at times, and it's so fortunate that when we have those moments, we can share with people we care about. Beautiful. I appreciate y'all taking the time to come chat here. Thank you. We'll talk very soon. I'm sure we'll be seeing y'all on an event coming up here in the near future as well. So yes.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for listening to The Happiness Blueprint. Powered by GBM6. It's about making people happy.